We got more English VA drama. Yep. Still early for that. It's 9:45 a.m. Oh shit. The pasta isn't ready. All right, I guess we'll just have to wait. I guess we'll have to wait a little bit later for more pasta for the pasta then. All right. Bet. I expect some good pasta with the fettuccine or whatever you want to call it. I worked at a pizza restaurant because of my name is Tony. Hey Tony, on the pizza, Tony. What you doing, Tony? I know what is it? Brooklyn? Is it a Brooklyn accent that they talk to? Fine, we can settle with pineapple pizza. Okay, all right, buddy. All right, you know what? We're just gonna move on now. Oh, goodness gracious. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Well, apparently we have Venti VA or so saying about what, the SAG-AFTRA thing, you know? Food. Yeah, but I only eat one plate a day. That's pretty much it. I already ate my meal already.
A ton of crazy stuff going on today. A ton of updates in this VA situation. So much stuff that we just got to get right into it. So beginning with this Reddit post, and by the way, thank you everyone who's tagged me to all the stuff going on. Appreciate that. The Reddit post reading, Venti VA, that being Erica, says, SAG, the union, has been sending threatening letters. The post reading, not surprised, at least some of the other VAs will be back in 5.7, that being 5.7 update for Genshin, for those who don't play. And she'll cover everything she missed after the mess is over. We can see in the screenshot a user had asked Erica, does this mean some of the other VAs will be back in 5.7? By the way, love your work. With Erica saying, I think so. SAG has been sending threatening letters, so it's been very difficult to navigate, but they were rude to me, and I'm sick of this stuff, so lol. The top response reading, I also found this other comment that also mentions SAG threats. I scrolled through the comments to make sure this was legit, and it is. So let's check it out. In this screenshot, Freminet says, you know what, we'll figure things out for you. You clearly don't give a dang about us or the game. We will be demanding a recast, and I pray to God you lose this role. You don't deserve it. With Erica responding, saying, bruh, I'm trying to come back. SAG has been sending threatening letters to us. It's been very complicated. I'm coming back soon. If it had been my choice, I would have been voicing the whole time. Okay, so some quick context on Erica talking about coming back. We've got this video from Nor Egrets that talks about the situation. Let's see.
This is a really disappointing news for version 5.6 because Venti will not have an English voice despite being one of the main casts of the patch. This patch is so highly anticipated that even the livestream announcement surpassed Mavuika strip marketing. But in a TikTok video by Venti's English VA where she did a Q&A, a fan asked her whether she will be voicing Venti in the next patch. Unfortunately, she responded that she wasn't able to figure things out yet. There's no doubt that many voice actors felt this way when she said that the politics as a voice actor in the current last game are very annoying. The silver lining is that she might not be replaced because she said that she will be back soon. Hopefully, this is true because fans really want her to voice Venti as she's one of the most iconic voice that Genshin has.
So it's pretty confusing right now. I think 5.6 drops on May 7th, I think it is. So we'll see if Venti is voiced in 5.6 or not. It sounds like Erica is not voicing Venti in 5.6. Once again, we have this message too where she said, so alas, I wasn't able to figure things out for 5.6. The politics as an actor are very annoying, but I'll be back soon. But then we've got more information in this post that reads, Venti may be voiced in 5.7 with his original VA, that being Erica, saying numbers added on are the order that each comment was made. So we'll take a look at this with the numbers helping us get the order. The real question, are you still the voice of Venti? Because the new update is going to suck with you not in it. Erica saying, I'm not sure if I'll be back for 5.6, but I'll be back soon. The politics of the acting world can be super annoying. Isaac then saying, I'm just worried because other characters in ZZZ got replaced and that also voice in Genshin. Zachary then saying, so you might be in 5.7, with Erica saying, hopefully yes, assuming nothing crazy happens. And there is also this post that reads, Venti's VA says she'll likely be back after 5.6, with these comments reading, thank you guys for loving Venti as much as I do. I'm so sorry the strike has sucked for everyone. We didn't even vote on it. I should probably take my own advice and shut up now. But yeah, I'm really sorry for how dumb this all has been. Saying that she hopefully will be back in 5.7. I think we already read this one, assuming nothing crazy happens. And this one saying, I'm sorry for keeping you waiting. I promise I'll be back within the next few patches. And finally, this one saying, I don't think 5.6, but I'll be back very soon. Hopefully we can cover 5.6 retroactively. Yeah, so this is all really unfortunate. You guys know I'm a fan of Venti, and I do think Erica does a great job voicing Venti, and 5.6 is certainly going to be an important patch for Venti, given the return to Mondstadt and all that. And this whole time I was thinking, thankfully it looks like Erica is not a part of the strike, but unfortunately it seems like she is. The good news is that she seems to be trying to break away from it, and of course, thankfully she has not been like these other VAs who have been constantly attacking the community.
That's good.
And on top of all
That's
that,
good.
she's also given us this interesting information about SAG sending these threatening letters. It would be nice if she posted letters so we could see like all the full context and what they're saying, but of course, I'm not going to be surprised if she doesn't want to do that. She may be worried about potential legal liability and stuff like that.
Of course.
And furthermore, her simply giving this information is probably going to paint a target on her back from the SAG bootlickers. As a matter of fact, spoiler alert, later in this video, it looks like Corina's not happy with Erica, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
When is Corina ever happy? Can someone answer that question?
Genshin Impact subreddit, this has only spurred further speculation though. For example, duality, which I'll show you. This response reading, wow, I'm kind of shocked she'd speak up about it, kudos to her. I can't imagine that SAG and its trolls are going to appreciate it if VAs are being threatened into not voicing the game. I'm hoping they can find a way to return. Not all these VAs are terrible people. Conversely, however, there's speculation like this comment that says...
That's the problem, it's just only some of the VAs from the Genshin Impact VA roster is being shitty-ass people right now, you know? Just because they made it into a big role, you know, now they're trying to, you know, cause chaos in the English VA, you know, fucking, yeah, there's so much shit in this shit. I'm tired of talking about this, to be honest. I
SAG-AFTRA
swear.
is already shady, but certain VAs made them look even worse, which is one possible reason why they're threatening the VAs themselves, referring to the letters or emails or whatever. Like, hey, your strike is not official and made us look worse. Go get yourself back to work. Responses reading, as far as I know, SAG-AFTRA was in support of their members continuing the strike, and another saying SAG was openly tweeting about the strike as if it was an official thing. It's not unreasonable for most VAs to be confused about the whole thing, and just following what everyone else was doing. So yeah, SAG-AFTRA retweeted Aneris Q, where Aneris was trying to get Hoyoverse to sign the agreement. SAG-AFTRA retweeted that tweet from Aneris, basically saying like, yeah, just sign the agreement, Hoyoverse. It's so easy, winking emoji. But as we've talked about many times before, Aneris actually
at least for the wrong types of people, Spear. That's the problem. Wrong types of people who have platforms are, you know, are basically like this. I feel that this has been going on for a month. It gets old. Oh my god, you have no idea. I love doing VA. You know, I love VA. I want to go back doing VA stuff, but like, this shit is kind of annoying. Can we just like, it's just good business? Shut the fuck up with that. I swear to God. Can we just, can like Hoyoverse just fire the ones that have been doing bad and just completely replace them so then they can finally lose their jobs and then we can finally find someone else to replace those, you know, roles, in my personal opinion.
Her tweet. That said, this comment talking about VAs being tired of being put in this situation, I mean, some of them might be, but we know a lot of them have been defending this whole situation and still continue to refuse to work, so let's not forget that. And then this other comment we read, specifically the part where they say it's not unreasonable for most VAs to be confused about the whole thing, that part's fine because, yeah, it's been really confusing and convoluted. But the second part where they say, and just following what everyone else was doing, I don't think that's a great excuse. These are grown adults who are able to make their own decisions. They chose to be a part of SAG, they chose to go along with the actions of the strike, and they can refuse to be a part of it, like we're now seeing Erica do.
Yeah.
With that said, let's take a look at this repost from
I showed the
Corina
meme already for that one.
Over on Blue Sky. The repost reading from Kyle McCarley. I haven't threatened anyone. SAG-AFTRA staff has jurisdiction to contact members about violations of Global Rule 1, which could result in censures, fines, suspension of membership, or a ban from the union. All members, first of all, let's stop there for a second. Seems like that would actually be a good thing.
Yeah, if you get banned from the union, that's pretty good in my personal opinion, you know?
This rule and the consequences for breaking it when they join. The context to this is someone bringing up what Erica said. So Corina retweeting Kyle McCarley makes it seem like Corina might not be happy with what Erica just posted here. Might not be happy with Erica going up against this strike. So the full context. We've got a blocked post, but right below that, Jackson says, I do find it funny how despite signing agreements against AI with other studios and companies, the SAG contract is the only one they haven't, and most likely won't sign that we're aware of. Makes you question what exactly is in the agreement that is so damaging that they won't sign it. with Kyle McCarley saying, "This is a false claim. Hoyo has not signed any agreement that limits their use of recordings for the purpose of AI on any project. All their non-union agreements in fact have language that grants them rights to the recordings in perpetuity for any use whatsoever without limitation." And that's where this other person says, it's really disgusting that now you even threatening the voice actors. Showing where Erica said, "I think so. SAG has been sending threatening letters, so it's been very difficult to navigate, but they were rude to me, and I'm sick of this." That's where Kyle made this post. We'll read it once again now with that context, where he says, "I haven't threatened anyone. SAG-AFTRA staff has jurisdiction to contact members about violations of Global Rule 1, which could result in censures, fines, suspension of membership, or a ban from
Yeah,
the
we already
union.
know about this
All
already.
members are informed of this rule and the consequences."
Should have started
for
from the
breaking it
top,
when
in my
they
personal
join.
opinion.
Such disciplinary action and every step in the process of taking it is fully confidential between the members and the disciplinary staff. No one knows what punishment, if any, is given unless that member chooses to talk about it. Well, we also don't know what exactly the threatening letter was about. This is making an assumption that it's about Global Rule 1 when we don't even know if that's the case. By the way, check this out. Kyle McCarley has done a lot of VA work, including Mob from Mob Psycho 100.
Who's this guy? I don't even know who this guy is, to be honest. I've never heard of this guy ever in my entire life. Mob Psycho, Mobile Suit Gundam, Fate Stay Night, Lego Monkey Kid, I don't know what that is. Your Lie in April, Blame, JoJo Bizarre's Avengers, Cyborg 009, Call of Justice, The Seven Deadly Sins, Nier Automata, Disgaea 5, Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadow of Valentia, Gatekeepers, and Fire Emblems, Three Houses, Harry Potter and the Harry Potter Wizards Unite, High Score Girl, and Cookie Run Kingdom, apparently. So,
whole controversy about it too.
Hey,
In
Yoruichi.
September 2022, McCarley's contract to voice Shigeo Kageyama, the protagonist of Mob Psycho 100, was not renewed by Crunchyroll. McCarley, who is a member of SAG-AFTRA, had offered to work on a non-union contract for the third season on the condition that Crunchyroll meet with SAG-AFTRA representatives to discuss potential future contracts. Crunchyroll refused the offer, sparking criticism from anime fans and media outlets. Despite the controversy, Crunchyroll continued with their simulcast strategy of releasing Mob Psycho 100 3 dubbed episodes on the same day as the subtitled release, with little marketing or advanced notice beforehand. That information making it all that much
Take care,
more
Yoruichi.
fitting
Get
to
some
see
good
Kyle
rest,
McCarley,
hun. Get some
who's
good
looking for
rest.
SAG over here on Blue Sky, with Corina retweeting a lot of those posts from Kyle. She's not the only one though. We can also see Kaiser Neko reposting.
Oh god,
That
not
response
this
from Kyle
guy.
McCarley, who responds to the information about Erica. Right below that, we can see another interesting take from Kaiser Neko, saying, "Oh my gosh, these people don't understand that SAG-AFTRA members knowingly and willingly sign contracts affirming they won't work on any projects that haven't signed agreements with the union, and they're still acting
swear.
like know-it-alls."
I
Actually,
swear.
that's something that we've all talked about. That is indeed part of the problem, because Hoyoverse games are not SAG-AFTRA union games.
Yep.
And yet a lot of these SAG-AFTRA members have been working on Hoyoverse games and then simultaneously try to dictate who is and isn't allowed to work on those games while they don't even follow their own policies. This is also something that's
Yeah, no worries,
hypocritical
Tony.
on
Be
SAG's
safe,
end,
hun.
because
Thank you
they
for
have
coming by as
another
always.
policy on
Very
their
much
own
appreciate
website
yourself,
that
hun.
encourages members to work on non-union projects while also having Global Rule 1, which forbids it. Their
Man, this gatekeeping stuff is pretty insane, to be honest.
excuse being, well, if you guys
Just for a
work on
fucking
those,
game,
we can
a
try
video
and flip
game,
them
just
to
for a
become
video
union.
game.
The whole thing is ridiculous.
Me
Oh, would you
too.
look at
You're
that?
going to bed.
Corina also
Take care, Dark.
reposting that take that we just read from Kaiser Neko, and this one as well from Jobert. This is very interesting. This looks like more evidence to support that Karina's mad at Erica, excuse me. Because when we click that and take a look at the context, we can see a blocked post. But this response from Shugosha saying, "Aw, it's little Corina that still needs to pretend that SAG is such a kind group. You're a cancer that needs to be replaced as well." Showing a screenshot that I'm pretty sure we read earlier, the one with Freminet there, and Erica, where Erica
I will have
said,
my
"Bruh, I'm
cinder
trying to come back. SAG has
Dakimakura.
been sending threatening letters to us. It's been very complicated. I'm coming
It's just
back
more
soon.
English VA
If it had been
shit.
my choice, I would have
as
been
always.
voicing the whole time." Where Kaiser Neko says, "Turns out that when you defy the terms of your contract with your union, they contact you to tell you you're in violation of your contract with the union. What do you expect, that unions shouldn't hold you accountable if you violate their rules? All union actors accept that. Jobert saying, that kind of I shouldn't have to support the union, it should just support me is what conservatives to pass the right to work laws that gutted unions wanted. People who didn't value the unions and didn't understand the benefits of having one are the reason workers' rights have eroded. He then corrects himself and says, who passed? But I love how yesterday we were talking about Pomeranian of Doom accusing all of us of being alt-right for criticizing SAG-AFTRA, and now we got this person who's basically saying that Erica is acting like a conservative. Like, these people are not capable of having any sort of discussion without bringing in their political brain rot. Also funny how he's implying that SAG-AFTRA really just has the benefits of workers' rights in mind. That's like all they want. They want to benefit workers' rights, when we have seen that that's not the case at all. They simply want to benefit their own members, even if it means screwing over other workers. And plenty of times they've also screwed over their own members too. Anyways, it looks like Erica's recent actions have already upset a number of the other VAs. And that's only from what we're seeing being posted publicly within the last number of hours. There could be more posts from other VAs who are upset with Erica on the way, and there's likely already more negative comments going on behind the scenes. Perhaps we will see other VAs also attempting to leave the strike now, and this might cause some sort of divide between the VAs. On one hand, with those now trying to distance themselves from SAG-AFTRA and the strike, and on the other hand, the SAG loyalists. Guess we'll have to see how it all continues to play out. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed my coverage, please consider liking and or subscribing to the channel. Appreciate it.
We're not even done yet. It's not even over, to be honest. We got the last final video on this shit. Oh god, thank fucking god, Jesus Christ. Hope this ends. What is this?
Guys, things are actually getting even crazier. Yesterday, hopefully you saw that video, we were talking about the situation with
it can't be that serious.
And how she has been participating in the strike against Hoyoverse, and that Venti won't be voiced by her in 5.6. But she is trying to come back for 5.7. So in other words, despite Erica having participated in the strike,
and then another video,
it looks like she's now trying to break away from it.
No.
She has also told us that she's getting these threatening letters from SAG. Now, it looked like Corina, the VA for Paimon, had essentially responded to this, retweeting a bunch of stuff or reposting a bunch of stuff on her Blue Sky account from other VAs like Kyle McCarley, who is the VA for Mob in Mob Psycho. And these remarks from like Kyle and Corina are essentially insulting Erica, to put it lightly. But for all that context, please consider watching yesterday's video. And in this video, we've got to actually take a look at Corina herself making statements towards Erica. And it's like, Corina's going like full aggro mode, dude. Corina, yesterday we were speculating, like, it wasn't really speculation. It was a pretty reasonable conclusion, but we were saying like, it really looks like Corina's mad at Erica. But yeah, based off what we're going to take a look at now in this video and new statements that Corina has made going after Erica, it looks like Corina is extremely mad. Oh, and apparently some of these people on Blue Sky are mad at me too. They're angry at me for making videos like this, talking about the stuff that they're doing. So that's just a little icing on the cake. That takes us to this post on our Genshin Impact from 4 hours ago that reads, Corina says Erica is an adult and essentially should have known better. She should have known better. Okay, Corina. Let's see what Corina says.
A lot of stuff has happening, Herb, you know.
Kyle McCarley actually laid out what is exactly in those letters. I personally wouldn't call them threatening myself, but that's my opinion. But everyone knows that if you work non-union work in our union, not FICOR, the union could find out. All unions have union rules. Calling something threatening when she is an adult that read the rules like everyone else, she didn't go FICOR, and she still borked these rules, guys. I wouldn't call that threatening. I am FICOR, have been for a long time. I followed SAG rules, so no, I didn't get
The fuck is a FICOR? I feel like I'm learning new words. I'm like learning new words every so often. What the hell is a FICOR? Why does it sound like a credit score, website or something, you know?
a letter. It's not a special exception. This is very clearly stated in SAG rules.
Is she trying to get her credit score or something? What's happening? I don't even know.
Are these messages that she was also
thank you for the follow. Welcome.
Account. And I find it very interesting that Corina and Kyle McCarley seem to know what Erica got in those letters, despite Erica not actually posting the letters. I don't believe at least she ever posted letters publicly unless I missed it, which I'm pretty sure I did.
Thank you for the follow. Welcome,
They
welcome.
would be all over the Genshin Impact subreddit and people would be tagging me and all that stuff and whatnot. So highly unlikely that she did post that stuff. But the point is, they're making so many assumptions here. For example,
I
McCarley
see.
saying, SAG-AFTRA staff has jurisdiction to contact members about violations of Global Rule 1, which could result in censures, fines, suspension, membership, ban from the union, etc., etc. So making the assumption that she's getting threatening letters from SAG about breaking Global Rule 1. Or they're not making assumptions and they actually...
Oh, my chat can tell you about that. We already talked about it earlier today. We're kind of moving on to a different subject, that's why. My chat can inform you, though.
Letters, which, if they actually...
My chat has been informed on the Cinder
situation.
situation.
Extremely suspicious and make it look like they might have some involvement in what's going on behind the scenes to go after some of these VAs who are going against the strike and going against the union. But again, I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm simply trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Thank you for the follow.
Welcome,
welcome, welcome.
And take a look at some of the top responses, and then we've got more stuff from Corina to go over. This top response reading, why does Corina keep moving the goalposts? First time it was about AI protection. Second time it was about wanting Genshin to go union because some VA are union. Third time it was about supporting the union VA strike. Fourth time, bullies a non-union, non-USA VA, even though he isn't even joining the strike, and not even in the US. Fifth time, she said it wasn't actually a strike, and she totally agrees that it was just a work refusal. Sixth time, it was about VA should follow global rule number 1, and everyone should respect the strike. Again, agrees it was a work refusal. That's a consistent thing with all of these VAs who are a part of the strike. They're inconsistent. A lot of them have made very hypocritical statements, a lot of them can't get their story straight. But to be fair, yeah, Corina does seem like probably the most exceptional of all of them. We'll take a look at 2 more top comments here. How quickly she went from respect the VAs to VAs that should respect SAG's rules. Actually, this response we'll read too. It says, it's not respect the VAs, it's respect the VAs in my clique. The clause is important. Yeah. Clique of a bunch of toxic weirdos. Okay, now 2 more actually. It's only respect the VAs they like who deserve the respect. Only them and their friends get a pass. Everyone else can kick rocks, it seems. They'll lead the mob even, so long as everyone defends poor little old them and their buddies. Only the Corina Club matters. And then this one says, can whoever advised Kaching's VA to stop talking about this advise her to be quiet now too? Well, yeah, so this is also really funny because Corina has seemingly made it her whole thing to bootlick for SAG. But at the same time, as we see here, she talks about being FICOR. But over on SAG-AFTRA.com, they have a whole page dedicated to talking about why people should not be
they
FICOR,
fucking announced that.
including
holy shit, that was hard to watch. Bao stream, what the fuck? I told you, Sage. I told you. That shit was hard to digest.
I do not want to contribute to the race to the bottom in wages and working conditions. I want to stand up to corporate greed. Oh yeah, just bootlick for SAG's greed, that's all. You change out one corrupt thing for the other. And then, by the way, in a lot of these cases, people now have to deal with a corrupt corporation still, and a corrupt union, that being SAG-AFTRA on top of it. So congratulations, you got 2 for 1. The bottom line will be driven down for actors and our agents if advisors feel they can hire talent for less. And we'll read this one too. I'm not willing to put myself on
be right
sale
after this.
and jeopardize my safety and well-being on a non-union set. Put yourself on sale, huh? And lastly, we'll take a look at this section where they say, Financial Core/FICOR/FPNM are viewed as scabs or anti-union by SAG-AFTRA members, directors, and writers, most of whom also belong to entertainment unions. So Corina, the union that you keep bootlicking for, well, they view you as a scab who's putting yourself on sale and racing to the bottom. Then there's this whole thing that they call Union Myth 1. On this page, they talk about why union actors are better actors than those lowly non-union people. This is something we've talked about plenty of times in prior videos. But you know what, guys? I'm really starting to wonder here. We all know how toxic and corrupt SAG seems to be.
Of course.
But even for them, maybe they take a look at Corina and they think, yeah, normally we want everyone to join SAG, but for her, yeah, she can stay FICOR.
Thank you.
She can stay out. We don't want her.
Very much. Thank you for the compliment.
Meanwhile, we got Corina acting like SAG is the greatest thing ever. 7 minutes ago, things got even more complicated.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
Just came in that reads, Erica said that FICOR members are also being targeted by SAG-AFTRA, despite following their strike rules. Oh boy. Considering it's specifically about FICOR, it feels like it's more than just Global Rule 1.
Jesus.
Are you telling me the speculation those VAs were posting on Blue Sky that they were presenting as fact was in fact speculation and might be incorrect? Oh my gosh. This response saying, just go FICOR, bro. Erica saying, the letters are being sent to FICOR actors along with full union members, so...
This guy.
And then this one that says, yikes. So on what basis are they sending the letters? I'd somewhat understand if it's for breaking Global Rule 1, but even the FICOR? On what grounds would they do that? This whole situation is just weird. Erica responds, saying, honestly, I don't know. It's crazy too, because everyone, I think, getting letters also has followed all strike rules, even the suggested ones. So, is the implication there that the letters are, though, in fact, about breaking rules, just not Global Rule 1? Let's read that part one more time. It says, it's crazy too, because everyone, I think, getting letters also has followed all strike rules, even the suggested ones. So yeah, based off that, it does sound like SAG is saying that people are breaking rules in these letters. That is still, of course, just speculation. It'd be really nice if someone were to post one of these letters, then we could really see for sure. But yeah, things continue to get more interesting, it seems. This whole thing, though, just makes me even more in, like, disbelief, because it all seems so unnecessary, doesn't it? None of this had to happen. People didn't need to hold this, like, unofficial strike against Hoyoverse. They could have just all kept voicing their characters, but no. Had to go try and get more out of the bag. Wasn't good enough. And let's lie to the public and say it's all about AI protections, too. Surely that's gonna go well, right? And as many people have pointed out, for the first few months or so, a lot of people in the fandom were supporting these VAs. As people looked into stuff more and more, as you know, more questions came up. They began to get more and more toxic and mad. Thankfully, Erica's not one of them who was really toxic and mad. It's just too bad that she's a part of it. But you know what I mean. Like VAs like Kaylee, Corina, Cher Kirby, the Valeria person, etc., etc. But yeah, didn't have to happen. Didn't have to be this way. But this is the path that they chose, and now here we are. Here's what I think might be happening. It's an unofficial strike, as Joe Z just said, a collective work refusal. It's not a part of the main video game strike that is officially going on with SAG against a number of companies. But the reason why we saw SAG getting involved, for example, the tweet that they made at Hoyoverse and retweeting a Naris, trying to get Hoyoverse to sign this agreement, is because a number of these VAs in SAG may have gotten SAG to at least try and be like the mediator, be like the middle party, to at least like forward the agreement to Hoyoverse to try to get them to sign the agreement to facilitate the transaction, so to speak, while their collective work refusal is still not like an officially sanctioned strike. Perhaps that's kind of what's going on. And now maybe SAG is upset with these VAs because they could be concerned that all of this bad publicity from this specific collective work refusal may end up negatively impacting their official strike. They're worried about the fallout that's going on from this hurting their official strike, especially because there have been comments from SAG, including comments made from their executives at convention panels. They rely on the public supporting them, supporting the official strike, and helping them pressure companies. So yeah, if they think this Hoyoverse situation is now crossing over to their official strike and costing them support for that too, they're definitely not going to be happy. That is my theory, at least based off the information that I currently have. Of course, maybe my opinion will change, but right now I think that's pretty much what I'm thinking is going on. The big question now, though, is what exactly is up with these threatening letters? It sounds like we may be able to presume that SAG is accusing people of breaking rules, including FICOR people, but of course, we don't know for sure unless someone happens to post them. And Corina was not done there. In response to Erica saying, bruh, I'm trying to come back. SAG's been sending threatening letters to us. It's been very complicated. I'm coming back soon. If it had been my choice, I would have been voicing the whole time. Corina had this to say. Erica is not FICOR. She technically shouldn't have been working on Genshin at all. Isn't that what a lot of you have been saying? Like Joe said, when an actor works off the card, they are taking the risk. She knew the risks. She took it. Some of the top comments about this over on Reddit read, did they turn on Erica? Dang, my impression of them has been hitting rock bottom for a while, but now it is straight up penetrating through the bedrock to go even lower. How much more terrible can they be? And this response reading, it's crazy. Back then, these people are making IRL content hanging out, and now they're all talking terrible about
Google
each other behind their
Docs. You're gonna start making Google
Crazy
Docs.
world we live in. Yeah, that's just how the VA industry is. Anyone who saw the whole Vic situation in 2019 definitely can attest to that. That was a huge point of contention back then. Just to specify that more, when I say VA industry, I'm specifically talking about some of the stuff that goes on here with these cliques in the US with these English dub voice actors. Corina is even getting called out all over Blue Sky. So we're back at this post that we just read from Corina, and these are some of the responses right at the top. Justifying SAG threatening your coworkers now, are we? Almost like we were right all along, and this was never about protecting the rights of VAs. Your behavior is repulsive.
It never was, to be
I hope
honest.
you can one day look in the mirror and feel
Google
ashamed,
Docky.
but I feel you are too narcissistic to gain self-awareness. And this is why so many companies, gaming and animation alike, have you by now on their blacklist. No one wants to work with a scab who has no empathy. Pray Hoyo keeps you, because it'll be your last acting job and pay for that 50 quid. You're a psychopath. Do you have an ounce of empathy for others, or is it strictly reserved for yourself? Get off the internet, you're embarrassing. We got Pomeranian of Doom. This is one of Corina's favorite people. Let's see what they say, probably defending her. Why do so many fans automatically interpret Corina's comments with hostility? What? Yeah, I wonder why. Overtly hostile comments. Why are people interpreting this like they're hostile? They're just stating the factual nature of the situation. SAG-AFTRA is likely cracking down on members under Hoyoverse contracts because the situation has escalated, as Hoyoverse is not replacing VAs. Because she has been a scumbag since she called Jacob a scab, while being a scab herself since ages. Because she insulted players and other VAs who disagree with her. Because she lied about money and other things countless of times. Pick the one you prefer. And yeah, it's only a few things. There's a much longer list than that. Jacob is here's Pomeranian of Doom's response. Jacob is objectively a strikebreaker, scab, or whichever terminology one prefers to use. Whether he intends to be or not, that is the role he has served with this context. Furthermore, Corina themselves has not denied that they are serving as one themselves. However, even if we were to grant that they have made inappropriate comments online before, I'm unfamiliar with the matter, frankly.
What am I listening to here?
You're constantly responding to everything Corina says on Blue Sky, and you can very clearly see that stuff for yourself. But hey, sure, okay, right. Not familiar with it. This does not therefore mean that every comment that they make is with hostility. You are priming yourself to interpret Corina's comments with hostility.
You're still messaging?
You have already built a mental profile of who you believe that they are, but outside of how you like their tone, or whether they have made mean comments or not, do you know what actual principles they stand for? So first of all, this is actually a false premise here. No one said that every single comment Corina makes is with hostility. They're simply saying that the openly hostile comments are indeed hostile, which they are. Pomeranian of Doom continues. Let me ask you a quick question. I want to paint a rather insightful
oh my goodness gracious me.
Person? Someone who is polite and uncontroversial but otherwise apathetic towards injustice, or someone who is rude but has an intrinsic desire for the betterment of humanity? So self-righteous, dude. If you believe Corina to be rude, then maybe I can offer some insight as to one potential reason why. Corina has been harassed, mobbed, and insulted in numbers by fans. On top of this, they had to watch as injustice after injustice plagues this country, while
this
most
shit
people
is
watch
gold.
it apathy, or in many cases,
this shit's fucking annoying. That's all I gotta say.
as people cheer on its impending
That's what I gotta say, man.
What the frick kind of terminally online brain rot are you posting right now, dude? We're here talking about this VA situation. You start going off about the whole country. You can't even have a discussion without getting all crazy. Seriously? This is the same person, by the way, who accused every single one of us of being alt-right for criticizing SAG.
Imagine me doing the news,
Not
though.
surprising at all that they're making
I'll make this shit entertaining. Dude, I fucking hate talking about these VAs. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I
hate this shit so much.
Yeah, you seem like a very angry, very weird, angry person.
Hey, Igni.
However, I have the fortunate blessing of not being reviled by a mob over a petty drama on the internet, and it has been hard for me. Then I can only imagine that it has been hard for them too. Dude,
what?
Go outside. What the frick? I'm sorry, Corina, but this is unacceptable. I gave you the benefit of the doubt because I felt sorry for your situation, but saying that Erica brought this on herself is despicable. She shouldn't be getting threatening letters from an organization that's supposed to protect her rights.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's someone who literally calls herself they/she and has the rainbow flag in their thing as well. Damn, are they even starting to turn against Corina as well at this point? I'm hoping, in my personal opinion.
She literally agreed to follow the rules. The threatening letters are just enforcing those rules. She chose to break the rules knowing she agreed to follow them. At any point, she can go FICOR if she doesn't like the rules. She is not being held hostage. This is entirely her choice. And where's your proof that she broke rules? She hasn't been voicing Venti and Genjin, so that can't be it. Here you go, and links to that post from the mob VA Kyle McCarley that we talked about briefly in this video and more extensively talked about yesterday. And there's no evidence in that post. The dude is just speculating. I love how often you see this on the internet, usually on Twitter, Reddit, and apparently also Blue Sky, where someone will ask for evidence of something. and the other person responds by linking to a post that's just text with no evidence and is also probably just an opinion. We'll take a look at a few more responses to Corina here. This is funny coming from the same person who had an 8-minute long rant about why SAG was the only good option. This clearly shows how scummy SAG-AFTRA is, and that's suddenly okay? Talk about lack of empathy. Not to mention, a lot of indie companies who did not want to sign the interim got blacklisted by SAG. They even had anti-AI clauses. And before I forget, why are you still voicing Paimon if you're so pro-SAG then? Shouldn't you be standing in solidarity with your peers? Don't be a hypocrite either. Yeah. That person already knows. The heck is wrong with you? Coward. You run the blue sky because you got exposed on Twitter? Have some empathy and be quiet. What happened on Twitter? From what I've heard, she just keeps getting community noted and called out, so she moved over here. Taking a brief look over on Corina's Blue Sky profile to see if Corina's made any additional statements on any of this stuff. It doesn't seem like there is. Just returning.
This is the no, this is the EN. This is the voice actors of Genshin Impact. They're trying to basically monopolize the entire VA industry in the western side. That's basically what's been happening. It's been a fucking roller coaster, I'm gonna be honest with you.
To reposting people like LittleKuriboh and Kyle McCarley. Oh, but look at this. Corina's reposting Kaiser Neko, and Kaiser Neko seems to be upset with Erica. We click this. This is, once again, a post about Erica, as we can see here. All the Kyle stuff we read yesterday, and then scrolling back to this post from Kaiser Neko. Let's read these, though, from Sonic Joshua.
It's been...
So get in the context. Sonic Joshua says, wait a sec.
I need to be drunk to watch this now, to be honest.
That means she was union, and no one knew till you just said
At this point, she should just have gone off full off the grid for a while, but maybe their work makes it so that the internet's essential, probably.
Those emails could have had any context, but
I'm trying to let them talk a little bit more because, like, I'm trying to keep it minimum right now, at least for this, at least for the whole VA stuff, anyways.
Why snitch on her? To get heat off you? Because that's again showing selective punishment. Why no public lambasting to other such rule breakers to keep consistent? No, this doesn't make her breaking Global Rule 1 correct still, but just why? Kaiser Neko says, she, Erica, publicly talked about it. And she did so vaguely while throwing the union under the bus. So now other people have to clarify. This is why she shouldn't have talked about it publicly. From what I've read from screenshots from this recent case, there was no direct mention of her being union, only talks of her talking with SAG. Now, if she did bring it up earlier and I was unaware, that's different and I apologize.
0 days without Genshin VA drama. Always has been apparently.
It always resets every single day, chat. It resets every single day because we always get something new about the fucking Genshin VA drama.
One, people already knew she was union. This wasn't a new thing. 2, she never would have gotten those letters if she wasn't union.
This shit's already dumb. I'm gonna be honest with you. This shit is just straight up,
Again,
like straight up
Instead, if I
retarded.
Let me know.
Straight up, in my
It took me
personal
2
opinion.
messages to understand. I can take an L on that one. I gotcha. Also, think about this another way. If nobody knew she was union and she started talking about those letters publicly, then that comes off as the union sending a non-union person threatening letters, and that's a whole new level of misinformation. But once again, we're now being told that FICOR people are apparently also getting these letters, so what's going on? Though I have to ask, if it was true people knew that she was union and this was public info, then why only now is she seemingly getting punished for breaking Global Rule 1? Wouldn't she have had to be punished all 4 years she's been working? Or
I am trying to focus really hard from these people, but
it's not likely she's being punished. It's because of multiple
these people are just nonsense. That's probably why I like tap out of people that are speaking nonsense.
Unions are patient with members dipping into non-union work, but there is a line. Oh, but sometimes when it's convenient for them, they encourage people to go work non-union so they can try and flip that whole project to become union. So many hypocrisies going on with this union, man. And then we've once again got LittleKuriboh. He says, the letters are not a threat of punishment. They are sent out as a standard procedure when SAG receives a report.
Can we bring back, I know that I don't know if Americans have it or so, but like, can you guys just bring back like insane asylums and just kind of like put them there? Can you just like, can we just bring that back, and just put these crazy people in there, and get them away from the internet and all this other shit? For girls' mental health and ours. Oh my god, dude. I fucking hate this shit. Where are you gonna get money for that? I don't know. You just asked Donald Trump.
That report can be provided by anyone. The letter asked the actor for clarification. SAG has sent those out to anyone who gets reported. It is not targeted by SAG. It's also not a threat. So if that's true, which again, it seems to be more guessing games about what the letters are, but if that's true, it does sound like someone snitched. Here's what it sounds like. It sounds like a group of VAs in the clique at SAG are upset at Erica for trying to leave the strike. Maybe she's even trying to leave SAG, who knows? But we at the very least, we know she is trying to get away from the strike, it sounds like. And they're unhappy with that. So they report her to SAG, report her to the higher-ups, whatever division is responsible for this stuff over in the union, that she's been working on Genshin and all this stuff, and she's breaking Global Rule 1. Now, it seems highly unlikely to me that SAG didn't know that she's been working on Genshin this whole time for years and years and years. So it seems like they would only really care if some of the other members, maybe certain members that have, what's it called, like picking favorites sort of thing. If certain members begin reporting someone, maybe that's when they potentially take action. My point is, all of this seems extremely corrupt and very suspicious. Okay, and here's the bonus comedy at the end of the video. If you made it to the end.
Thank you for the follow. Welcome.
So, Corina reposts Rick. And Rick is someone we talked about briefly in a video from the other day because he made this whole long post.
Yeah, we already talked about this already.
We need to rebel against Hoyoverse. We need to uninstall the games, the Hoyoverse games, and we need to hold this
rebellion. They call him SAG.
Hilarious. And so Rick says this and gets reposted by Corina. So today, I uninstalled Genshin, finally got fed with Hoyo dragging their feet, not doing a dang thing to help the cast. Their latest batch of, due to scheduling conflicts, quote-unquote, of JP trailers on their EN account was the last straw. Then I got an extra 100 gigabytes off my SSD and a slew of hate from a VTuber. Bro. I didn't call anyone in particular out either. I just made an angry post about the fans harassing the cast, and then suddenly the Fire Nation attacked. Wild times we live in. But wait, there's more. Corina also reposted Rick here, where he said, I was also in a similarly toxic vid, not sure if the same one, purely because I got fed up with the game as Hoyo kept doing the same due to scheduling conflicts cop-out in their new trailer, and I uninstalled. Might have made the mistake of making a big post about it on Twitter/YouTube, but I stand by what I said. So if by any chance Rick is watching this video, it's nothing personal, bro. You gotta understand the whole thing about like saying that you want to hold this rebellion against Hoyoverse, like people need to rebel against Hoyoverse and uninstall their games. That was just hilarious. Like, come on, bro. You got to see that was pretty funny. Like a rebellion, really. And yeah, uninstall their games if you want. No one has to play Hoyoverse games. I don't care about that. It was just a rebellion thing. That part was funny. But wait, there's still more because he was responding to
for God's sakes.
Said, oh, someone made a video trashing on the union and the striking actors and highlighted me and Martin in it. That's why I've been getting weirdos with new accounts randomly being terrible to me. Cool. I mean, dude, I get negative comments.
What a crazy month.
All the time. All of us.
Oh, tell me about it, Jesus Christ. This is worse than me being on my period.
Get negative comments. It's just part of the being on the internet. You know.
Fucking
A.
A.
Talk about the stuff you put out there on the internet. It is what it is. And like Kaiser Neko's been on the public, like been in the public space on the internet way longer than I have. So I'm sure he knows better about that than I do even. You know what? We actually have a little bit more to talk about here.
Oh, la puta, man.
I just saw this from LittleKuriboh. It says, I'm friends with Erica, so I do not want to diminish her experience, but this is the letter. It is quoted here. If you find this threatening, I would genuinely like to hear which part.
Dude, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of hearing LittleKuriboh. This guy needs to get off the fucking internet, to be honest. This guy literally needs to get off the fucking internet, you know? Get him out of here. At least Ko is on her period. We getting a whipping. This is just torture without the safe word. He does. Oh my god. Get off the internet, Grandpa. This guy needs to get off I fucking hate LittleKuriboh. He was so cool in the past or so, but now he's like completely, you know, good luck surviving this. Meanwhile, I'm playing Expedition 33 later. Take care, Dubstep.
Kaiser Neko here said, quite frankly, she should not have been public about it. Even if that is the case, it's hugely irresponsible.
I don't even know who the fuck Kaiser Neko is, to be honest. Send him to the Shadow Realm? Dude being a puppet for his wife. I guess so.
So Kyle McCarley, VA for Mob, actually said more than I realized. My bad about that. He also said this.
He is from TFS. I have no idea what TFS is. The Dragon Ball Bridge, I think. Yeah.
Actors reached out to me after
LittleKuriboh did the Yu-Gi-Oh Bridge
violations about a month ago. To my knowledge, none of them worked on Genshin. One showed me a screenshot of their letter. In the interest of protecting the actor's identity, I won't share the screenshot, but I'll quote from it. So we'll take a look at what this letter allegedly says. But let's also be clear that we don't know for sure if this is the same letter that Erica is talking about. Regardless, let's read this. It appears that by rendering services in redacted,
T4-Star.
you may be
Wow,
in
I haven't
violation
heard
of
that
this
name
rule.
in a long
If so, you
time.
could be subject to reprimand, censure, fine, suspension from the rights of membership for a period of time, or expulsion from SAG-AFTRA.
Since when is making abridged content considered as doing VA work? I thought that was just a shit post. I thought you were just like shit posting, you know, like just doing terrible voice acting for the characters, you know.
After appearing before
That's what I thought.
committee. It is possible the reports that you rendered services in redacted are mistaken. Even if accurate, there may be some mitigating circumstances that have not come to our attention to date. Please detail any such circumstances in your reply. That's where the quote ends. So that's apparently the whole letter that this guy is talking about.
All I know is that, like, you know, when you're doing an abridged series, you're just like shit posting, you know. You're just like basically like doing terrible voice acting for the anime that you enjoy. You're just trying to make fun of it, you know. That's what it basically is, you know.
Like a bunch of posts about this, but to be quite frank, I don't have the time now. I'm really out of time at this point. So make of all that what you will. As
I'm so look, man, I'm so fucking tired of talking about this, to be honest. I don't know, man. If there's one more video about this shit, I'm about to lose my fucking mind, to be honest. I just can't believe it with all these VAs. Can we just replace them? Like, can we just replace? Can Hoyoverse just replace these VAs? Replace these VAs, get new VAs, the ones that are causing trouble or so, and then just kind of like move on. You know, like this would just literally just, honestly, this would just solve everything. If Hoyoverse just gets rid of the problematic VAs and just replace them, that's it. You know, and that's it. That's the end of the capiche, you know? Honestly. Well, unless you're doing ghost stories, dub. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this is an amazing guide, perfect to learn how to waste time. That's one. That one is legit VA work. Wouldn't surprise me if we get another tomorrow.
Doesn't have anything to do with this entire shit. Except LittleKuriboh's wife is a member of SAG, and she was in a similar dream with her job voicing Athena for Hades 2. TLDR, she was union doing a non-union gig, and he made his first tantrum during that, and it just spilled over here.
Hey. Oh, God. Oh, good. I need a beer. I need a beer for this. I don't even drink beer. I need some kind of alcohol beverage to get over this, to be honest. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazz stuff. Yeah, like, I'm not talking a lot or so during these videos because number one, right, this like he posted like 4 videos over like my days off, you know. That's the reason why. Like, he posted 4 videos on this Genshin VA shit, right? So I wanted to kind of like, you know, kind of get this shit rocking and rolling, you know. That's the reason why I wasn't like kind of talking. And also on top of that, most of these conversations, I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of a bit like zoning out from it because I'm just kind of like, you know. But yeah, overall, like I said, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Dude is literally being a manlet for his wife. The thing is, Hoyo don't care about the EN drama because they are still they're still making lots of money. It seems like only Twitter cares. Actually, to be honest, it's only SAG cares. You know, the only people who care, because even then, the community for Genshin Impact doesn't even care about the whole SAG-AFTRA thing, you know. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. But Ko, think of the infinite content. Your sanity is the price for it, though. I was joking. I hate this shit. Okay, I hate this shit. You want to know something? I didn't even watch this video here. You know, I didn't even watch this one because I just like I don't want to see this video. And then like fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see. Hold on. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20 fucking videos. Literally 21 goddamn fucking videos on the voice acting thing. Oh man, dude, I fucking hate this shit, to be honest. I despise this goddamn the EN VA, in my personal opinion. All the time it's like watching a heavy bow gun getting nerfed in slow motion, pretty much, yeah. Ever since the Vic from Funimation drama and the English VAs have acted like nothing but entitled brats. That's what it feels like it to me. That's why I'm like, you know what? You should vote me to be the president of the VA industry, and I'll make VA great again. I'll become the Donald Trump of the VA industry at this point. And we're gonna go back to the way they were, you know? Hire people on their good voice acting, not by their color of their skin or whatever fucking random shenanigans that, you know, whatever other fucking random stupid, you know, whatever the fuck they want to decide to do or so for fucking VAs or so, or like their race or their skin tone or whatever other fucking shit or so. No, I'd rather hire people or so on their good portfolio voicing, you know, but that's just me. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know what everyone thinks. Personally, I'll be honest with you, I'm just so fucking tired of these goddamn VA shits. I'm just tired of it. But you gotta have diversity, because otherwise it's bad. Okay, buddy. Sure, whatever. Okay. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And will this ever end? For the love of peeps sakes, I want this shit to end already. Please. And that's the end of the video. And I'm dying.